here it is, a netted bag. I think it's freaking awesome. Got a little short-sided there. It had to tie on, but I like the length and it's pretty handy. It expands and stuff. So I'm gonna show you how to make one of these bad boys. Finger woven line here, secured on, old-fashioned knots. I think it's pretty handy. If you like it, that's cool. If not, you don't know it's cool. This is the first step. Is we're gonna do these main lines. So kind of want to be able to stand up and do the knotting, and you'll understand here in a minute. I don't know. Let's see if they work. Oh, that one's a little broken. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. It's an heirloom, but I don't think that'll work, babe. So what I did is, this is gonna be the lines that I attach the other leads off of. So there's a lot of different ways you can use a stick in lieu of that, you know, and half hitch them on there, but I'm just gonna half hitch about, I'm gonna guess twice as much as what I think I'll need. I'm sure there's a more scientific method that I don't know about. I mean, I'm not about math when I'm doing stuff like this, because then it takes all the fun out of it. But there's other ways to do it. You can, like I said, half hitch it on the leather or a stick or any number of things, but this is the way we're doing it for right now. So I cut the leads, and I'm gonna half hitch them on this main piece right here. So I just halved it, put it behind it, and then pull that through. There you go. And of course, after I get done with this side, then I could spin it and do the other side. But that's the first step. So these are just overhand knots. And I like these the best because I could do them faster than any other kind of knot. I used to do a lot of hand weaving. It's kind of what I did for a side business when my kids were real little. So I've tied a whole lot of rugs and other woven pieces, so I'm pretty fast at it. So you just want to alternate, of course. The hardest thing is consistency on the distance, but once you have a good rhythm, your muscle memory starts to kick in. And I'm not super fussy. Doesn't have to be perfect. I guess you could do it on a cardboard cutting board with lines and stuff and pin it and all that jazz, but I'm more of a naturalistic kind of process lover. So I'm not really sure. I think I'm gonna leave those because when I do the other around, I'll need that. So I'm gonna leave that. Not sure how that'll work because I might have to do that actually. Since I'm gonna do this as a more of a tube, this being, you know, half of the tube, but you wouldn't necessarily have to do it like this. You can do it as a more of a rectangular piece and then have a seam. But for this one, I'm wanting to do more of a tube, so I'm gonna have to leave these side ones off. So they'll get to a point where I'll have to take this off and do the other side so it'll remain a tube. See how some of these knots aren't super tight, and that's no big deal. I'm not worried about it. To recap, how this is one piece and it just goes around. There's no side seam is what I'm saying for the knitted part. So that's why I did it like this. And it's, if you just imagine the leather piece right there instead, which, you could leave this like that, or you can stitch it to a leather piece or sandwich it in, and stitch a leather piece around it. You can do that as well, but this is how it'll look until you keep putting leads on, to go all the way around. So, and then these would start to tie off. And then when you get to the desired length, of course, you just, for a truly circular bag, it's kind of, you want to tie them all together, but if you want it more like this one, you just tie the opposing ones together. And like I did it a couple different times, just to keep it in place really good. And then of course, we got the handle. This one just tied on, nothing fancy, so you can untie it if needed. It's just a finger woven thing. Like I said, this is, the same thing. You could attach any number of things to make it more portable, a strap or handles of some sort. So it's super handy. I love these. I have a ton of them actually. They're easy to make and quick. Check it out. Super strong. It is diagonal finger weave, and we'd recommend 6 to 8. It just, you could do 4, but then you really can't tell the difference between that and certain braids. So I think this really makes it look unique when it's got that many. And of course, the thicker the material, the easier it is. For some people can, I'm sure, do sewing thread size to do that, but for our purposes and the strength, it's got pretty good weight to it. So got me a piece right here to attach to the chair. Makes it really easy. It's tied to something. Chairs are just pretty handy. You can do it sitting or standing. So we got 8 strands right there, and then you just start. So right to left, we're just going under and over each strand as we're coming to it, and it kind of gets spread out, but as you tighten it, it all comes together. But I kind of have it spread out as I go across. Start with this first one, go over, then under, then over. Like I said, it's kind of hard to keep it all together, but you just do the opposite of what you previously did. This hemp bag, you can make it with just hemp. That's all you need, and a little can-do attitude, you can nail it. So you could have stuff. You can't put nails in here though, for sure, because they would fall out. But you can put oranges or potatoes, or if you're just foraging in the woods. If you're familiar with chicken in the woods, you could do that. Or, but it's really handy. It doesn't take that much. Probably maybe $6 worth of materials in this whole bag. But if you like it, please subscribe to us and like us on Instagram and Facebook. It's Ramshackle Homestead with Keith and Jen. Have a good weekend.